The National Electrical Code, or NEC, doesn't explicitly define underground regarding wiring, but Article 100 defines wet locations and damp locations. A wet location is subject to saturation with water or other liquids. This includes showers, bathtubs, swimming pools, and areas where water is likely to spray, drip, or be splashed. A damp location experiences moisture or condensation, but not saturation. Examples are basements, cellars, crawl spaces, and outdoor locations under overhangs or canopies. PVC conduit buried in soil is typically considered a wet location because it can be subject to moisture penetration. However, in some cases, it may be classified as a damp location if the conduit is buried at least 24 inches deep, the soil is well drained, and the conduit is sealed with watertight fittings and moisture-resistant sealant. THHN, or thermoplastic high heat-resistant nylon, wire can be used in wet locations if it's inside a conduit or raceway. In a damp location, THHN wire may be used without a raceway. Underground feeder, or OFF, cable is designed for underground use and resists moisture and sunlight, allowing direct burial without conduit. As a summary, PVC conduit buried in soil should generally be treated as a wet location, requiring THHN wire to be installed within a conduit or raceway. In some situations, it might be classified as a damp location, allowing THHN without a raceway. However, UF cable is typically the preferred choice for direct burial. NEC Article 100 covers definitions of electrical terms. NEC Article 300.5 details wiring methods for wet locations. NEC Article 300.6 covers wiring methods for damp locations. NEC Article 310.10 outlines wiring termination requirements. NEC Article 334 addresses underground conduits. To understand the requirements fully, firstly consider the location and potential for moisture. Secondly, use appropriate wiring methods and materials for the location. Thirdly, consult the NEC for specific requirements and guidelines. The NEC provides the framework for electrical installations, and understanding its requirements is key to safety and compliance. When deciding about using THHN wire in underground conduit, consider firstly the definitions of wet and damp locations as outlined in the NEC. Secondly, the specific conditions of the installation environment. Thirdly, always adhere to the NEC guidelines to ensure a safe and compliant electrical system. The nylon jacket on THHN wire offers some protection, but it's not a substitute for proper installation practices in wet or underground locations. The primary concern with using THHN in a wet location without proper protection, like a conduit, is the potential for moisture to degrade the wire's insulation over time. While the nylon jacket offers some resistance, it is not a waterproof barrier. Continuous exposure to moisture can lead to insulation breakdown, increasing the risk of short circuits, ground faults, and electrical shocks. The purpose of a conduit is to provide a physical barrier protecting the wires from moisture, physical damage, and other environmental factors. When a conduit is buried underground, it can be exposed to a variety of conditions, including moisture, soil chemicals, and physical stress from soil movement or digging. The NEC specifies minimum burial depths for conduits to protect them from these hazards. Even with a conduit, moisture can still penetrate if the fittings and connections are not properly sealed. That's why it's crucial to use watertight fittings and moisture-resistant sealant when installing underground conduits, especially in wet locations. If the conduit is considered a damp location, the NEC permits the use of THHN wire without a raceway. However, this exception applies only when the specific conditions of the installation meet the definition of a damp location, and it's essential to ensure that the wire is protected from physical damage. UF cable is designed for direct burial because it has a robust, moisture-resistant jacket that protects the conductors from the harsh underground environment. The jacket is typically made of a thermoplastic material that is resistant to moisture, chemicals, and abrasion. UF cable is also sunlight resistant, making it suitable for outdoor applications where it may be exposed to direct sunlight. When comparing the safety of UF cable versus THHN and conduit, it's essential to consider the overall installation. A properly installed UF cable that meets the NEC requirements for burial depth and protection is generally considered safe. Similarly, a properly installed conduit system with THHN wire, watertight fittings, and proper sealing can also be safe. The concern about a metal shovel cutting through a live UF cable is valid, as any direct contact with a live conductor can be dangerous. However, the risk can be mitigated by burying the cable at the proper depth and using ground fault circuit interrupter or GFCI protection. GFCIs are designed to detect ground faults, which occur when current leaks from a conductor to ground. When a GFCI detects a ground fault, it quickly interrupts the circuit, reducing the risk of electrical shock. Using GFCI protection is especially important in outdoor and underground installations where there is a higher risk of moisture and ground faults. The NEC requires GFCI protection for many outdoor circuits, including those that supply receptacles, lighting, and other equipment. The resistance of the nylon jacket to gasoline and oil is a beneficial feature of THHN wire, but it's not the primary reason for its use in wet locations. The main advantage of THHN wire is its high heat resistance, which allows it to operate safely at higher temperatures than some other types of wire. The nylon jacket provides additional protection against abrasion and chemicals, but it's not a substitute for proper installation practices in wet locations. To ensure the safety and compliance of electrical installations, always consult the NEC and follow the manufacturer's instructions for the specific products being used. Electrical work should be performed by qualified electricians who are familiar with the NEC and local electrical codes. Understanding the definitions of wet and damp locations is the first step in selecting the appropriate wiring methods for a specific application. The NEC provides clear guidelines for wiring in different types of locations, and it's crucial to follow these guidelines to ensure a safe and compliant electrical system. The NEC also specifies requirements for the type of conduit that can be used in different locations. For example, Schedule 80 PVC conduit is often used in underground installations because it is more durable and resistant to physical damage than Schedule 40 PVC conduit. The NEC also specifies requirements for the size and type of conductors that can be installed in a conduit. It's important to select the correct size and type of conductors to ensure that the circuit can carry the intended load without overheating. Overheating can lead to insulation breakdown, short circuits, and fires. In addition to the NEC, local electrical codes may also have specific requirements for electrical installations. It's important to check with the local authorities to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and regulations. When in doubt, it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician who can assess the specific conditions of the installation and recommend the appropriate wiring methods and materials. A qualified electrician can also perform the installation and ensure that it meets all applicable codes and regulations. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to prevent electrical shocks and fires. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on it, and use insulated tools to avoid contact with live conductors. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to leave the work to a qualified electrician. Remember, THHN wire is suitable for wet locations when installed in a conduit or raceway. UF cable is designed for direct burial in the ground. Selecting the correct wiring method depends on the specific conditions of the installation and compliance with the NEC. The location in New York has a temperate climate with distinct seasons. This means that the soil conditions can vary depending on the time of year, with potential for freezing temperatures in winter and periods of heavy rainfall in spring and fall. These factors can affect the moisture content of the soil and the performance of underground wiring systems. Given the climate in New York, it's even more important to consider the potential for moisture penetration when installing underground conduits. Using watertight fittings and moisture-resistant sealant is crucial to prevent moisture from entering the conduit and damaging the wires. In areas with freezing temperatures, it's also important to consider the potential for frost heave, which can cause the soil to expand and contract, putting stress on underground conduits. Burying the conduit at a sufficient depth can help to mitigate the effects of frost heave. The NEC provides guidelines for minimum burial depths for conduits in different types of locations, and it's important to follow these guidelines to ensure that the conduit is protected from physical damage and environmental factors. The type of soil in New York can also vary depending on the specific location. Some areas may have sandy soil, while others may have clay soil. Clay soil tends to retain more moisture than sandy soil, which can increase the risk of moisture penetration into underground conduits. It's important to consider the type of soil when selecting the appropriate wiring methods and materials for an underground installation. In areas with clay soil, it may be necessary to use additional measures to protect the conduit from moisture, such as installing a drainage system or using a more durable type of conduit. In addition to the climate and soil conditions, it's also important to consider the potential for physical damage to underground wiring systems. Digging, construction, and other activities can damage underground conduits and cables, leading to electrical hazards. To protect underground wiring systems from physical damage, it's important to bury them at a sufficient depth and to mark their location with warning signs. It's also important to use durable materials that are resistant to physical damage, such as Schedule 80 PVC conduit. When planning an underground electrical installation in New York, it's important to consult with a qualified electrician who is familiar with the local codes and conditions. A qualified electrician can assess the specific conditions of the installation and recommend the appropriate wiring methods and materials. They can also perform the installation and ensure that it meets all applicable codes and regulations. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to prevent electrical shocks and fires. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on it, and use insulated tools to avoid contact with live conductors. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to leave the work to a qualified electrician. Regarding the initial question, keep in mind that the NEC serves as a guideline and local codes may have additional or more stringent requirements. Always check with your local authority having jurisdiction, or ODGE, to confirm the specific requirements for your area. Also, the type of occupancy, whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, can also impact the applicable codes and standards. Each type of occupancy has unique electrical needs and potential hazards, and the NEC addresses these differences by providing specific requirements for each type of occupancy. For example, the NEC has specific requirements for wiring in healthcare facilities to protect patients from electrical shock hazards. It also has specific requirements for wiring in industrial facilities to protect workers from electrical hazards associated with machinery and equipment. The environment in which the wiring is installed can also affect the applicable codes and standards. For example, the NEC has specific requirements for wiring in hazardous locations, such as areas where flammable gases or vapors may be present. It also has specific requirements for wiring in agricultural buildings, where there may be exposure to corrosive substances or excessive moisture. The purpose of these specific requirements is to ensure that the electrical system is safe and reliable, regardless of the type of occupancy or the environment in which it is installed. To summarize, the decision to use THHN in underground conduit depends on the specific circumstances and local regulations, with UF cable offering a safer alternative for direct burial. Always prioritize safety and compliance when working with electrical systems.